Good afternoon. It's time to start our work session. We'd like to welcome you to the meeting today, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Wilkes.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney. We're going to look at action items tonight during our work session to make sure that we're all on the same page. And I think it's just a good time informally to take some questions and have discussions. So we're going to begin tonight and looking at the financials. Mr. Gray, if you'll come to the microphone, and at different times tonight, I'll bring other central office people to the microphone, so everybody be alert, okay? Which I know you are, by the way. I was not insinuating otherwise. Mr. Gray.
All right, thank you, sir. It's good to be back. I feel like I haven't been here in about 3 months. It's been a busy first part of the year. We've got taxes done, which is great. Our bookkeepers and Ms. Clark have done a lot to help with that. And then last month we were gone for professional development. So where we had 2 employees actually finish certifications for AASB, which were Ms. Clark finished her CSFO and Ms. Petaway finished her, I believe it was purchasing and procurement. So a lot of good things happening, but we'll get caught up on financials. This is through the end of January, so we're our normal time behind. But January revenues were $5.3 million, brings year-to-date to $13.3 million, or roughly 44% of budget, which is right on track where we want to be given this time of year. Expenditures for January totaled just under $2 million, bringing year-to-date expenses to 7.9, or roughly 27% of budget. So we are tracking good on expenses. You can see the big variance there is really in capital, but in the correct way, I guess. Revenue breakdown, expenditure breakdown, not a lot of movement here, just given the early parts of the year yet. So nothing too different from a previous month, but just know that as we get down into key revenues, the major contributions for January were $4.4 million in Avalorum. You can just scroll down, sir. Right there. $4.4 million in Avalorum and $405,000 in sales and use tax. Both very solid for a given month. As we continue to go forward, we're probably 98% done with Avalorum, so we have received the majority of that, which is great this time of year. So, and the fund balance for January increased $3.5 million, all due to Avalorum for the most part, bringing the reserve to $18.3 million, or roughly 9 months worth of expenses. So that's up probably, I want to say 2.5 months since the end of last fiscal year. So.
It's tracking pretty good, sir.
Mm-hmm. And there I put for you the breakdown of the calculation for months in reserve. This is normally in the PowerPoint that I gave, but I think we put it all in one file and kind of condense some things down, so you can just see the months on hand calculation there.
Any questions for Mr. Gray? Mr. Gray, great job, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it so much. All right. I do want to say 2 things that I don't have in the slideshow and I don't have in announcements tonight. Seeing Ms. Miller here tonight reminds me that the Seafood Festival was a huge success for our school system, and she is our liaison to the MAC, and single-handedly recruited various people to come in and park their cars so other people could see them. No, I'm kidding. She had a lot to do with the car show, and it was a major increase this year. So I think all in all, we will profit for our school system $41,000 from that event. So congratulations to everyone that helped and supported that venture, and thank you so much to our MAC board members and everybody that helped in that day. The city is represented in the back of the room today, sir. Could not have done it without your help as well. So thank you, City of Orange Beach. Any questions about Seafood Festival? I'll share some of your spreadsheet with the board members so they might want to kind of glance through it, just to kind of look at years past and so forth. Record crowd, I understand, about 26,000 people, so that was huge. And then the other thing I just want to remind you, speaking of MAC and everything, our new sponsorship guide is out there and already for next year, and I'm signing off on contracts and agreements with Ms. Cherney and Ms. Miller. They're spearheading that. You know, we raised over $1 million last year just through this venture. This year's mantra theme is all aboard. We got people on board last year. We want to keep them on board, and we want to continue to move forward. Much of the information on the inside is very similar to what it was last year. She did a great job, again, putting this together, featuring some of the best-looking kiddos in the entire world. So, any questions about that and VIP parking and all that other wonderful stuff? You can see myself, Ms. Cherney, Ms. Miller, or Ms. Courtney, okay? Any questions about our sponsorships? There's two things that I did not have planned for tonight, and I'm sure I forgot some other things. All right, going to jump right in to our second reading of student compensation. And Mr. Gray, if you don't mind coming back, this is a new board policy, and if you would just, in your own words, very briefly, tell the board why we feel like this is necessary.
Sure. You know, as our school and programs that we offer continue to grow, I think there's opportunity for students, and given, you know, what's here, to end up being compensated for certain things. Really what this does is we're looking for financial transparency. We want to be fair, we want to be equitable and consistent in the way that we handle things like this. And at the end of the day, just make sure that what we're doing and offering and how we're doing it is appropriate.
Could you paint me a picture where this would be applicable?
Yeah, I mean, if I can speak, I guess I would say I think about a lot of the things that happen around our athletic department and the kids who run cameras and Friday nights for 3 and 4 hours at a time. I think if you can tie that to curriculum and learning, I think it's a good opportunity to implement something like this.
How do you differentiate between like what should be volunteer work and what should be paid? I mean, what is homework, for example, of a...
Well, he just gave a great example of the extension of the classroom. Typically, those things are not paid. But during the summer, if we need somebody to haul off some type of materials or something, move desks around and so forth, then that's a great opportunity, and that's outside of the classroom. So that's probably a really good example of where it would be, you know. And we've done that in the past. We just haven't done it recently. This just kind of ties that up, nice and neat, where we have a policy regarding it. Okay, thank you very much. All right, so mental health policy, Ms. Courtney. There was state law that was passed, and we've been doing this. And board members, this is a revision, so it does not need a first reading. And the red font would just simply indicate where the changes are. So Ms. Courtney, you want to tell us about moving from 14 to 16?
Yeah, so this was a law that was implemented for the start of this school year, and we have been in full compliance with this during the entirety of the school year, but we just now need to adjust our board policy to match state law. So you'll see that the only changes there are the move from 14 to 16 for parental consent, as well as the stipulation for students that we do not have to notify the parent or receive consent should we have a suspicion of abuse, neglect, and so forth. And so that was added in state law, and so we mirror the state law here.
Any questions?
And the short section at the bottom is merely a disclaimer.
It is, it says, and just as this was an example, if there's any changes to state law, we'll comply to that law, even if board policy hasn't been changed yet.
It trumps policy anyhow, federal law, state law, and then local board policy, of course. Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Courtney. Mr. Blevins, if you'll approach the bench, please. We've got a few lawn, well, actually, we've got one lawn bid. Would you tell the board what this concerns?
Certainly. With the addition of the athletic facility, we would like to, we put out for bid lawn care services, which is everything from the general cutting around the facility, really from Canal and William Silver's all the way back to the track building on both sides of the road, and keeping up the pine straw, keeping up the palm trees and everything. We also asked that in this bid, they had to have, that be certified to be able to do weed killing, fertilizing, all that kind of stuff, somebody that actually has certification in that. And so we have a bid tonight for you to consider.
Any questions about that?
How far does that go west of the facility?
It will go across the street, really running up. Do you know where the parking lot is behind the grandstands?
Yes.
It will go really all the way up to that. The city really picks up from about where that alligator fence ends,
Thank
right along there, back toward back toward
what I meant.
back toward the school.
Alligator fence.
Yeah. So, matter of fact, the city just cut that the other day, and we have a track meet today going on, and we were
Yeah.
fortunate enough to have have it looking good for that event this evening.
North of the pond, the city has.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Very good. All right, any questions? Good for that. Milk bid. Ms. Miller, if you'll approach the podium, please. And we're going to have a recommendation tonight to go with Prairie Farms. We opened these the other day, and I think you had 3 that came in.
Yes, sir.
And you've had 2 very close. So
Yes.
what was the determining factor there, please?
So this is our milk and dairy products bid. The first time that we put this out was in 2023, where Prairie Farms was awarded. We have since had a great experience from service to timeliness, product quality, and the vendor relationship with the staff has just been exceptional. And so we would love to continue doing business with them. We've not had any delays. They're very quick and responsive. And this will be for 1 year with the option to renew for 2 consecutive years.
So you'll notice in there that the estimate is really what we would consume in a week's time.
Yes, sir.
And the 2 bids were separated by $13. So what she is saying, let's stick with the one that's currently serving us. That's her recommendation
Yes.
to me, to you.
And we included the new revisions with the National School Lunch Program, reincorporating whole milk into our schools. So I added those solicitations for lactose-free options as well as whole milk options. So we'll be able to provide those for our students.
Any questions? Thank you, Ms. Miller.
Thank you.
Very nice job. And Mr. Blevins, actually, this was a group effort on this difficult-to-find positions. You'll recall last year, we had a math signing bonus, and in talking with the principals, Mr. Blevins, Ms. Courtney, and everyone, we felt like we needed to give consideration to the difficult-to-find position. So, Mr. Blevins, would you like to just address that, please?
Certainly. Again, last year was math is what we looked at. When you look at difficult to find, as we were discussing it and throwing ideas out, one of the hardest ones to find last year was actually for our health care under Career Tech. It was extremely difficult to find. I actually was reviewing my postings from last year, and I had 63 elementary teachers apply for positions last year. I had, and when I look at something like health science, I think I had 8. So in that vein, in that light, really wanted to look at what can we do to draw the best and brightest, which is what we're always looking for. And if it comes out to be a signing bonus to do that, not limit it just to math, but also to those other positions, and we define what's difficult to find. With a cap of 50,000. Once we hit that mark, we would just, hope that somebody would come on if we've already doled it all out, so to speak. But certainly would like that opportunity.
Or we'll come back begging.
Or come back
Come
big,
back
yes.
begging to the
Yeah,
board.
may do that.
So when we put this out originally, we had the word core academic in there, and after further discussion, we decided, as Mr. Blevins indicated, just so the audience sees, kind of how we work. So when we made that change, we did the strike through to show the board members there. And then down here in green, after we've already made one revision, we come back, we just use a different color font. And there's the $50,000 cap. Of course, that is a summary of all, one person might be $10,000 based on the rubric, and somebody else may be 15, somebody may be 15 and 10, then you're actually over at that point. No, you're actually at $50,000, Matt, thank you. Matt with AEA.
Math teacher.
Matt Gray was who I was talking to. But yeah, 50,000 is the cap.
Any questions?
So last year, when it was used, and you may not remember, but like, how many applications, like, how did it positively impact Englewood?
I spoke directly to one, we were all at the soccer game that night that I approached the individual. He said it absolutely made a difference in the ability to move. This person came from 5 hours away or so and would not have been able to do that otherwise.
I think the moving expenses, that it helps with more than anything, helps them get down here and get an apartment or whatever they're gonna live in.
Okay.
Good, thank you.
Thank you, sir, so much. Okay. Every year, we have to present for board approval an employee payroll and contract dates. This one's pretty simple unless somebody has a question about when we get paid. Typically it's 20 days within a month.
Typically, it's that.
Typically.
Every once in a while, you hit one of those weird months, and Mr. Gray and I actually worked on this together, based it on the ones we've done the last couple of years. We set the payroll dates so that we can get the information in. We pay, again, everything's 30 days in arrears. So if I work the month of August, my first check comes at the end of September. And that takes care of not only payroll, but also absentees and things like that, attendance. So everything's 30 days. And then going back to our positions, as far as the contracts, of course, you see 240 days there for 12-month employees, working our way down to bus drivers at 182 days. And then it has the days listed in there that they would be off while others are working.
Any questions about contract or payroll dates? Thank you, Mr. Blevins.
Yes.
We also have an action item tonight, as we've done for the last couple of years, during the summer for 8 weeks, to go to 4 workdays during the week, 10 hours each. And the last week in July, we'll be back 5 days a week. Any questions about that?
In the past, this was done through a survey. I'm assuming this was probably, or you probably have seen that trend in the past.
I haven't had anybody to object.
That's
Yeah.
right.
But
Okay.
since then, I've not had anybody.
I would assume that,
Mr. Shaw, do you want to work 6 days a week, 7 days?
Preferably 7 days a week. No, everybody's happy with the 4 days.
Good deal.
Everybody likes the 3-day weekend.
And that's important, because I hear at the office a good bit. Well, I don't hear, I think I know what they want. But, yeah, schools, Dr. Law, you good? Okay. Let's go 4. Let's go 4. All right, this is super important here. And Mr. Blevins, in working with the safety plan, came up with this notion, I think it might actually be a recommendation, that we have a resolution with the entity or group or anybody that, whereas we're gonna have to relocate students and staff members to their facility or property, that we have a memorandum of understanding. What I'm asking the board to do tonight is to allow me, along with Attorney Campbell, to draft some memorandums of understanding and actually enter into those MOUs with various entities around town without publicly naming those entities in this meeting tonight or in a future meeting. What I've said here is that during an executive session, let's say we get them all done in the next month or so, if you approve that, we'll bring them back in executive session and share with you. But for the safety of our students, the public just does not need to know where our relocation sites are. Mr. Blevins, did I do any justice to that? Anything you
Yes,
wanna
sir.
add?
And again, this goes to, I'm doing a lot of training as the district's safety coordinator. We've done a lot of training this year on relocation and reunification of students. One of the things that we purchased is the Circle system with that in mind. Not only does it take care of visitors, but it also has a platform for reunification. What the recommendations that we keep getting from these monthly trainings in school safety is that you need to have a site, you need to have more than one site. Events may determine which direction you can go on Canal. And then that you have an MOU with that entity so that you know what to expect from them. Who's going to be there to open doors? Who's going to be there, you know, to help? And again, we did an MOU recently with the police department for our SROs, and it's kind of in that vein of who's got what responsibilities. But again, nothing that we'll share out publicly. We don't share our emergency operation plans publicly. We don't want the people that want to hurt us to know what we're going to be doing. And so the same vein here with this.
Any questions about that? Are you comfortable with that notion?
Yes, so we'll just at some forum reconvene to kind of discuss this.
Yeah, and you may have something once you see it, or may want to tell us your thoughts, and let us go seek those areas, those people. So, love to have your input, but not in a public forum. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Very good. The next item, we finally have social studies books to choose from. However, they embargoed that list for 2 or 3 days
2 or 3
today.
business days.
So we have worded this very carefully tonight to allow the board, for us, to go ahead with the selection of textbooks committee based on the state's list, though you've not seen the state's list. And it's okay tonight if you tell us no, that you really want to see the entire list. And then we'll just put it off. The reason we want to do this, we're concerned already, can we get the books in time for next year? And if we can't, we'll have to start the year. And it may not matter. I don't know, we've never done it this late, ordered books. But because the state took a little bit longer to do this, if we wait until April for you guys to approve it, we certainly probably won't start the school year with new social studies textbooks. Good thing about history, it hasn't changed a whole lot. Depending on who's the author, right? I know what you're thinking. All right, so Ms. Courtney, did I do okay with that one?
That's exactly right. It was just approved at the state board meeting this morning at 10. So we don't anticipate to have access to it until the beginning of next week.
Why is it embargoed?
We're not sure, sir.
And how, would that give you enough time for a committee to like truly?
So
Go
part
through
of
and
what the
research
committee
that.
does, we have already given them access to all the digital resources. They have all of the print text. We went to the Caravan and met with the publisher so they can demonstrate what options there are. They've seen the resources, and so they've already done an evaluation based on that. But that final piece is the tally from the state. And so we don't want to make any decision until then. Our committee meeting is set for Monday, which we'll have to push back. But given that, we'll talk through the state's, recommendations using their evaluations and be able to come with it fairly quickly, I think, once we're able to see the list.
It's basically what we do every year, except we typically have a list. We always, since we've been here, approve the entire, which gives our people flexibility to pick and choose.
I think it's very odd that it's embargoed.
Well, I don't know, I don't know why, but I do know that it was a
Refer to the
five,
attorney at the
it was
end.
a 5-4 vote.
On the other end.
It is unusual, but all the systems are having the same issue. I mean, we're basically saying now we're in limbo right now.
So if you're okay, we'll roll with it as is or not.
I'm willing to go with it as is, and we find some books on that list we don't like.
We don't have to use them.
Correct.
Okay. All right, very good. There is one last item here, which is for the task order for the conceptual capital planning purposes, really. It's kind of wordy. It's in the form of a resolution. And again, I'm showing the public here tonight the work that went into this. Originally, I had the paragraphs in there about the safeguard of sixth grade students, mental, emotional, psychological, with the desire, as I mentioned in the last board meeting, to keep the sixth grade students on the elementary campus. I struck through that because I don't want to limit the board to exploring any and all options, okay? So, but I thought it was worthwhile just to say it one more time publicly, that, in my opinion, is a desire as a grandfather. And then that whole Mako applied innovation, I've shared some of those ideas with the career and technical education labs and so forth. Again, not to box us in as we begin exploring possibilities, so I struck that as well. Though that very may be what we come away with. And then the general notion, just so everybody knows, is based on everything that we've seen, and we've had a meeting with some of the people doing the city planning and everything, I really believe 15 classrooms in the next 7 to 10 years will take care of any growth that we might have. And that's roughly adding 20 or so students per grade level. Now, they don't come in nice bundles of 20, but if we had 15 classrooms, I think we could handle the growth in the next 7 to 10 years. And what that looks like, the board will have to decide, okay? But in this proposal, I say, let's look at the elementary school. What is the possibility of adding maybe 8 classrooms there, which would be a classroom per grade level? Maybe some small spaces for occupational therapy, speech therapy, some of these smaller spaces that could be better utilized than what maybe we're currently doing. And then at the middle and high school, we talk about looking at these, what we call career and technical education classes, along with some other specialty areas, just as a starting point. And then down here a little bit further, I ask you to approve for the task order McCullough Architects to do some of the conceptual renderings. And we're just looking at basic floor plans, not looking for mechanical. We'd like to know how many restrooms we need, but we're not looking for the plumbing necessarily for that, or the electrical. But we do want some exterior renderings. And for $15,000, I think we can do that. We also down here are looking at Sawgrass Consulting, and that would be for the civil purposes. That does not include any boring. That is just to make sure that the dirt, earth, traffic flows and everything are in relatively good shape. And then we're asking for another $3,700 down here for Riser,
Bills on out.
yeah, Riser Mills Group to actually give us some type of estimate on what this would cost. So we're just trying to get an understanding of what is possible. If the earth is not good, it doesn't really matter what we think or want. We've got to go somewhere else and do it. And then if it's too much, then, you know, we'll have to adjust, or not enough. I don't know. We'll see. But this is maybe a 10-week process. I think I said in here that maybe in June, we'd be able to present the findings to the board and, you know, let you look at it and tell us what you think.
So I'm kind of projecting here a little bit. So I'm assuming that the civil engineer will probably do some basic, or have their geotechnical engineer come out and do some basic testing,
Yeah.
soil samples, because that's the only way they'd be able to determine that.
Yeah, we've estimated, and we can handle that cost in-house. I don't know that that necessarily needs a resolution, but it's about $9,000. It's rather, because I'm gonna show you, in just a moment, a short presentation of the area that we're looking at. Do you want me to go ahead and do that now?
You can.
And
Probably
so,
paint a better picture for everybody
Yeah.
in the audience.
so, this is a slide that I used at the last board meeting, and I said the purple areas would be great for future developments. And what we're looking at right now is a two-story facility with career technical education laboratories, any classrooms that we could squeeze out of that space as well. We're looking at closing in the courtyard, and that's that red box, so everybody can see that, right? And my collaborator and I did this. This might be what it looks like if you look back towards the pond. And you can see it really, with some landscaping, makes a very nice courtyard area. And then, of course, you see the two-story new ad in the very back. Okay? This didn't cost the board anything, by the way. It's better than my Pizza Hut house that I built for you guys when I first came here. I don't know if you remember that or not. I've come a long way, me and my collaborator.
Well, you did that, if I remember, you did that on Excel.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, I know. And here we've got the elementary school, and, of course, you see the tennis courts and everything, and I've asked, Mr. Hanley and the mayor to let us look at this area here for multi-purpose, area. Some type of gymnasium, some type of stage, to be shared with the city for rec at night and, you know, outside of school, hours per se, very much like we do with the PAC, Performing Arts Center. What that does, it gets the construction off of that campus and allows us to continue to move around without being terribly congested. The other thing I think we need to do is look at the gymnasium, if we're going to build something that's new for PE purposes. Mr. McKinney, you brought this up at our last meeting. We need to look at the cost of renovating it and what can we do with that space. And then what is the cost of simply tearing it down and building something that might be more useful. So that's what the multi-purpose center would look like if we flood East Orange Beach. Make it, I'm kidding, we're not flooding East Orange Beach. But this is my collaborator, AI, that developed this. So you could have a really nice multi-purpose type center for both city use and for school use. And then over here, it doesn't look like I did much, but I actually, in this rendering here, tore down the gymnasium and just cut and paste about 2/3 of this wing that was over here to the south. I cut and pasted it up to the north. And I would think we'd be able to get 8+ classrooms out of that space. Now, if you go back and renovate the gym, of course, you got a completely different look. These renderings just show the gym torn down and really the new facility, the new portion running east and west. What I show you back here is it running north and south. So there are a lot of different options out there, and I think this is what we want Sawgrass, Riser Mills, McCullough Architects to get together and say, this is best case scenario for 15 future classrooms in Orange Beach.
Well, they go as far as, instead of honing in on, you know, a lot of times you can get tunnel vision when you look at these and look at, all right, well, these are their needs, but you miss on the function of the adjacent spaces. Are they going to branch that just a little bit to make sure that that's, whatever is done and whatever's presented is cohesive with what's around it or context sensitive?
Yeah, absolutely. Just, you know, the delicacy of tying in a second floor at the high school. You know, what does that look like? What does it look like when you tear out the old gym and you've got restrooms? Is it sufficient for the new wing? Probably not. So I think you've got to look at that, You know, somebody said, well, does that become a sixth grade wing? Well, I don't want to back a principal into a corner tonight and say, yeah, that's going to be the sixth grade wing, but it very well could be. So I think you've got to look in totality at what you've got and what it looks like to add a classroom per grade level, in that case, at the elementary school all the way up. And then at the high school, you've got to think, yes, we need career and technical education labs because we don't have any. But then what does it look like if I have to add a math teacher? What does it look like if I had to add an English teacher? I almost had enough room on that hall for everybody, but somebody's now got to be around the corner. How do I adjust that? So is that what you're asking?
Yeah, no, it's really just capturing those things around it and how do they fit into that piece that we're asking them to do. Another thing too is, when you look at, you know, potentially adding buildings and spaces, you subtract things like civic open space. So I think the biggest thing too is that just ask them the question is that, hey, if, you know, we lose this green space here, how can we activate some space that we have already to re-energize it,
Yeah.
to make it usable? And those are just some thoughts.
Yeah, the Seasand and Stars parking lot is one of those spaces. You know, does that need to become a green space? Then, Mr. McKinney, how do you get to Seasand and Stars if that becomes a green space? So we'll come up with a lot of questions and, of course, keep you informed the entire way and get that feedback and really start to massage this so that when we get into June, we'll be able to say, we tried these things and we think this is just going to be a better fit for the space or for our students.
Davis and McCullough did a really nice job in the athletic facility with the little pocket parks and stuff that they added around that facility to complement it well. So anyway, just thoughts.
Are we tied into 700 person seating capacity?
No, that came from, in my mind, of what Veterans Day program looks like.
Wow,
If
I'm
we
saying
put
like
700 kids in the, and it could be, think about the middle school gym, and you think about return on investment, how many times are you gonna pack it to that capacity? So we know Veterans Day program will have almost 700 people sitting in the stands, and then 200 almost sitting on the floor. So, I mean, I think we can look at a lot of different things there. The last thing you wanna do is build something too small and already have outgrown it when you walk in the door. And I wanna have some collaboration with the city on this as well. They may have some ideas and some, special needs that they need as well. You know, whether it's pickleball or indoor swimming or kitty, better stop at it. So, there's just a lot of good possibilities as far as that partnership goes. Okay, Celeste, you're good? Mr. McKinney?
Fine. I still think we can access that parking lot, Seasand and Stars, from the east side. So-
Yeah, the city owns that. There's actually, it's not really a canal, there's a ditch in there. Or it may be a canal, I've not been back there lately. But, there's a strip between the Wilson and whatever that road is, the next paved road to the east is. So, we need to take a look at that while we're doing all this. That would be a lot easier in the summer for visitors to use that than to have to come through the school and campus, especially if you maximize that wing. If you add it where the old gym was. And there might be a way to keep that gym and still add a little bit of a wing to the side. Mr. McCullough can tell us that. We want it to be aesthetically pleasing to that. Prefer it not look like an afterthought. That's all, I think, that I've got tonight, sir, as far as work session.
Thank you. You, pleasure to take a 5-minute recess and then start our meeting?
That sounds fine.
Okay, we'll take a 5-minute recess and then we'll gavel in the actual board meeting. At this time, I would like to have Ella Kate Reed come up and have their invocation. If you would step to the microphone.
Please join me in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for the opportunity to gather this evening in prayer. We are thankful for the many blessings you have given to our school system. We ask that you continue to guide our teachers and leaders in their work and our students toward their purpose. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Thank you. And Ella Kate is the ninth grade SGA class secretary. Thank you for being here. I'd like to call the meeting to order. And you were telling me, we'll keep going at this order? Okay. The Pledge of Allegiance, at this time we have Isabella Covington, Avery Adams. The two of you, if you would come forward.
I pledge allegiance to the flag, to the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Give it back to me.
I'm giving it back to you. I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Wilkes.
All right, we're going to go just a little bit out of order. Avery, I understand that you've got a very important tennis match to get back to, okay? So we're going to work you in right now. So if you guys come back, and Ella Kate, if you will join them at the microphone. It's so great to have some of our freshman class with us tonight. Before I talk specifically to you, I need to recognize somebody else in the audience. Chip Reed, it is great, sir, for you to be back with us tonight. How about a round of applause for Chip? He did 25 miles on a bicycle this afternoon, and it was all uphill, he told me. So, Chip, stay the course, sir. We're glad that you're doing better. And if you did not know, Chip is the proud father of Ella Kate. Girls, tell us a little bit. Ella Kate, let's start with you tonight. Tell us a little bit about who you are and what you've been doing, and then we're going to come back and talk about our Community Service Day, okay?
My name is Ella Kate, and
Yep.
I play volleyball at Orange Beach High School, and I'm a freshman.
And your favorite class right now is what?
English.
English,
Yes.
very good. Isabella, come on up to the microphone. Tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
I'm Isabella Covington. I'm in the 9th grade, and I also play volleyball for Orange Beach. And my favorite subject would be math.
Math, got math and English in the house. And Avery, you gonna tell us PE, because you love tennis so much? Tell us about yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Avery. I'm in 9th grade too, and I play volleyball and tennis, and my favorite subject is probably math too.
Yeah, math as well. Love that for all of us math people sitting at the table tonight. So guys, we went out in the community this past week, on Tuesday of this week, and we did some things out for our community. So can each one of you tell us a little bit about what you did, and then I'm going to show a little video to kind of wrap it up for you.
I did some yard work for elderly people.
Yard work for elderly people. Exactly what did you do?
I raked leaves.
Rake leaves.
Yes.
Have you ever raked leaves before?
I have not, no,
No,
sir.
okay. I saw one of our teachers holding the rake by the edge, and I'm like, that guy's not ever raked before in his life. You go back and look at the pictures, you'll know who I'm talking about. So, LK, how was that received in the community, in your opinion?
I think it was really good for our community, like, and especially people in our grade, just to really feel a part of everything, and it really just shows people that we care.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Avery, if you'll come back up, and you know this is part of your graduation requirement, right?
Oh, no.
Okay. Mr. Wilkes said that the other day, but that's okay.
Yeah, the volunteer part, not the speaking part.
Volunteer work. No, being here tonight, yeah, every freshman has to come to the board meeting. I'm kidding. So you have to get 50 hours. This is
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, this is no. There you go. 50 hours of community service. And so this maybe was some people's first attempt at acquiring some of those hours. What did you get to do particular?
We got to go to the wind and water facility, and we got the old garden pots, and we got to get all the old leaves and stuff out, and then we laid dirt and we replanted them, and then we picked up trash around the wind and water facility.
Great, very good. Miss Covington, come to the microphone, please. Tell us a little bit about your experience.
I was also in Avery's group, so we went to the Wind and Water, and we got to help the garden club build their gardens and fix it up. And then we also picked up trash and just walked around their little facility. We also helped build a frog habitat
Hmm.
for first graders they were trying to do.
I lived in East Orange Beach. I'm not sure why we're building frog habitats. They're everywhere. I'm just saying, but that would be a great, I don't even know what a frog habitat would look like.
It was just a little bucket they had, and then they got pipes,
Uh-huh.
and then they put rocks around them just so the frogs could go in and out of it, just
Okay.
to hide, I guess.
Okay. Well, all right, East Orange Beach needs more frog habitats, I'm just saying. Very good. So you had a great time.
Yes.
And then afterwards, what did you guys go do? Well, you had some Vinnie's Pizza,
Yes,
I think,
sir.
for lunch, okay? And then what did you guys do as a culminating team-building activity?
After, we all went to the arcade and played games.
Played games, and there was some special award given, and that award was, did any of you know what it was?
Golden Rake.
The Golden Rake Award. Did any of you, were you on that team? We did not have a representative of that tonight. If I ask you girls who did the planning tonight about your green thumb, would you know what I'm talking about? Green thumb. If I said, Avery, do you have a green thumb?
Oh, I would say.
Okay, you would know. So we're gonna see if those flowers come up or not, and whether or not you had a green thumb, okay? All right, very good. Board members, do you have questions? And I'm gonna show a short video.
I would like to say that Nelson and I went and spoke to them before they went out. That's always, as Nelson said, the highlight. We really enjoy that event. But then I went home and changed clothes, and I went out to run in my neighborhood. And I went down the street, and there was one of our vans, and there were kids in one of my neighbor's yards. And she has Parkinson's, and she came out and talked to me. She was so thankful. She said, please tell everybody that had any part of this how thankful I am for these students to come help me. So you did a great thing. You probably were in that group, and it meant the world to her.
Super.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I just want to thank you for doing it, and I'm going to tell everybody else, these are three fantastic athletes, and I'm a volleyball fan, and they're awesome volleyball players, so thank you.
Yeah, we love our volleyball. We love our ball period, right?
Yes.
Very good. That and the arts and everything else. So if you would turn your attention to the screen, I'm going to show a little video, and some of you are actually starring in this video, right? You might recognize some of these people.
I think this is a really good opportunity for us to meet more people and to really like feel a part of the community more.
I think it's like really good for us to be able to like show that like people do actually care.
Very good. Isabella, Avery, and Ella Kate, would you come on stage, please? We'd like to give you a little token of our appreciation for being here tonight and representing your freshman class with style and grace.
Now, if we could have roll call
Mr. McKinney,
here.
Dr. Bauer,
Here.
Ms. Robinson,
Here.
Ms. Nix.
Here.
The next item is to approve the agenda, which was posted. There, as posted, do I have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Consideration of the previous minutes. They've been posted. Do you have any changes, additions, or deletions? Hearing none, the chair would entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion,
I have to abstain from that also.
okay, motion carries. There's 3 ayes and 1 abstention.
Got it.
Recognition of guests.
Mr. Blevins, sir.
Getting my steps in this evening coming up here. I want to welcome Matt Howard, as always, with AEA. Very, very good to work with. And then our parents, Mallory Wilkins and Misty Payne. And as always, our family member Ford Hanley.
Thank you.
Oh, no, it's one of us. Public comments?
We have none, sir.
Turn the meeting over to Mr. Wilks for announcements.
Very good. We've already talked about our ninth grade service day. Now let's talk a little bit about our arts update. Our arts programs are doing extremely well. You've all seen this on social media, but I want to formally announce Best MPA Performance Ever by an Orange Beach band, earning straight superior ratings and a perfect sight reading score. Missing the overall score. Actually, I went back and looked at the tally sheet, and the gentleman was not a math guy, and we only missed it by 2 points. He had a 32 out of 35, and it was really a 33 out of 35. So, great job. Also, want to mention that our theater program is ramping up. We've got this spring, our production is Seussical Junior, and it will run from April 30th through May 3rd, 2026. Very excited about that. Visual arts as well, they have a lot going on. Looking forward to some products from them in the very near future. Any question about our arts programs? And we actually have people already signing up for Sounds of the Island Marching Festival for next year. I think we've already got 5 bands, and we've got some positive feedback today on maybe a really big band coming in. So, looking forward to that. Ethics report, just a reminder to everyone that if you've not done that, hopefully you can just copy what you did last year, and it should take you about 5 minutes, unless you so desire to go in and do it afresh and anew. Then it might take you a little longer. Special Olympics, excited. We are hosting the Island School Special Olympics this year, and that's on the 29th. We'll get with you a little closer in on the times. It will be in Mako Stadium this year. And we'll be able to utilize our new facilities. And I'm excited that we'll have a few tents out around the stadium, but we've always got that pavilion that we can go and cool off. And for whatever reason, it's typically a very warm day. So excited about that. Any questions about our Special Olympics?
What time does that start?
I am going to guess with them getting over here around 8:30 to 8:45 at the earliest.
Okay.
It's probably going to be closer to an actual 9 start. But we've gotten to where if board members can come, and they did a great job of inviting us the last couple of years, and we've already extended that invitation over. I think it's a great time for you guys to actually, as board members, to stand side by side and, you know, share some thoughts and ideas. It's a good thing to do, no doubt about it.
I'm sorry, was this that late last year? Was this in late April? I don't remember it being so late.
It might have been a little bit earlier,
Okay.
but we're all taking the third week, Mr. Blevins, of April for spring break, somewhere in that vicinity,
Got it.
and it's probably after that. We've got all our testing done then, so it's a good time. And then the last thing, on next Tuesday, in the Performing Arts Center, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall will be with us, and he will be presenting the middle and high school with their second consecutive Safe School Award. So that's going to be a very big day. He has to be somewhere else, so it'll be a very quick presentation, take a few photos, and I'm sure by 10:15, 10:20, you should be done. So if you've got about 30 minutes that day, come spend it with us. Any other comments, anything that I missed with the announcements? Mr. McKinney, I believe that's all.
All right, let's move on to the action items, and starting with personnel.
The superintendent recommends the approval of all the following personnel recommendations. Mr. McKinney, I'll ask if there are any if there are any set-asides.
Do we have any set-asides from any of the members? Seeing none? No, sir.
We would like to make the recommendation tonight for family medical leave recommendations of certified employees for the 25-26 school year, employment recommendations of certified employees for the 26-27 school year. We have a few classified items. We've got resignation of classified employees for this school year, as well as employment recommendation of classified employees for this year, and some FMLA recommendations as well for the 25-26 school year.
Okay. You've seen those recommendations. The chair would entertain a motion for the approval of the recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
Ms. McKinney, could I make a comment
Yes, you may.
about personnel?
Yes, sir.
I think most of you know that we posted for an assistant superintendent a few weeks ago, and we were very pleased to say that we had 37 applicants, really from all over the United States. From those 37, I interviewed 8 of those, and it was great to find out that once you've looked through 37 people, that the best fit and the best qualified person is actually one of our own. So I'm very pleased tonight to announce that our new assistant superintendent is Dr. Mary Catherine Law. Congratulations. That is not immediate. That will take effect July 1 for everybody. We're in still pursuit of 100. We're in pursuit of that 100. So we will be staying the course. Of course, with her coming on board July 1, we will be posting no later than Monday for the principal's job at Orange Beach Elementary School. Any questions or comments about that? I know that's a little bit out of line, but I wanted to take that opportunity to congratulate her.
Thank you very much. You were excited about it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Anybody else? Next item.
Action item number 2, the superintendent recommends the approval of personnel contract provided in the link below.
You've had an opportunity to review that recommendation. The chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for the approval of that recommendation. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. Carried unanimously.
Action item number 3, the superintendent recommends approval of the attached financial statements.
You've had an opportunity to review those as posted and as discussed with Mr. Gray. The chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign. I believe it was unanimous.
Action item number 4, the superintendent recommends approval of the revision to board policy 5.5, employment's compensation for students as presented in the link below. This is the second and final reading.
Chair would entertain a motion for the approval of this recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
It carries unanimously.
Action item number 5, the superintendent recommends approval of the revision to board policy 5.5, mental health services, as presented in the link below.
We entertain a motion for the approval.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion.
Who was the second on that?
I'll take it.
Take a pick. Take both. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 6, the superintendent recommends board approval of the athletic facility lawn care and grounds maintenance bid to Scotland Yards, Inc., in the amount of $40,781.
Would entertain a motion for the approval of the recommendations.
So
So-
moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 7, the superintendent recommends Board approval of the milk bid submitted by Prairie Farms Dairy, Eastside Jersey Dairy Corporation, as they have been determined to be the lowest responsible bidder, meeting the specifications and requirements outlined in the bid documents.
Chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Hearing none. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 8, the superintendent recommends board approval of the resolution authorizing a one-time signing bonus for newly hired certified teachers and designated difficult-to-find positions for the 26-27 school year.
Chair would entertain a motion for the approval.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. I would like to emphasize this says difficult to find personnel, not difficult personnel.
Thank you,
So,
sir.
Mr. Blevins, when you. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Action item number 9. The superintendent recommends board approval of the employee payroll and contract dates for the 26-27 school year as presented.
Have a motion for its approval.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 10, the superintendent recommends that the board approve a modified summer work schedule for 4 10-hour work days for all 12-month employees, beginning June 1, 2026, lasting through July 24, 2026. This schedule maintains the standard 40-hour work week while allowing offices to operate efficiently during the summer period.
Do I have a motion for its approval?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 11, the superintendent recommends that the board adopt the crisis relocation resolution, which authorizes the superintendent in consultation with the board attorney to develop, negotiate, and execute up to 6 memorandums of understanding with governmental, nonprofit, educational, religious, or private entities that may provide temporary facilities or related operational support during an emergency affecting district facilities.
Chair would entertain a motion.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. Next item?
It's thinking.
What?
It's thinking. You may have to give them your paper.
I got
copy.
it.
Here, actually, take mine. Got it.
Yeah. All right. Action item number 12. The superintendent recommends that the board approve all state-approved social studies and arts education textbooks included in the current adoption cycle consistent with the state adoption list. That list embargo has been lifted and the link has been provided for all state-adopted textbooks. Ms. Courtney is pretty quick. Just came out.
Excellent.
Chair would entertain a motion for its approval.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 13. The superintendent recommends board approval of the attached resolution to develop a conceptual facility plan.
Chair would entertain a motion for the adoption of that recommendation.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Discussion.
We clipped each other twice already.
No questions? No
No
discussion?
questions. No.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. New business,
There is no new business tonight, sir.
executive session.
The superintendent requests an executive session for good name and character, and the requested amount of time is 20 minutes.
That's an appropriate reason under the Alabama Open Meetings Act as amended. For that reason, we do not need a roll call vote, we just need a motion and a second. And we also need to tell the public if we're going to take any action afterwards. I don't think we do, but
Okay, if you don't think then no action will be taken afterwards.
Okay, the chair would entertain a motion to enter into an executive session.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. At this time, we will enter into an executive session. So we want to thank all of you for coming.
Been taking some.
And we will reconvene, but we're not going to do any more action, so you can stay if you'd like. Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion, a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned.